Well, I hope you're hungry because it was a Toyota Honda sandwich with the lone Honda on the side of the table starting from the pits. Starting off in GT500 qualifying, P1 goes to the number 36 Au Toms Supra, P2 goes to the number 39 Sard GR Supra, and P3 rounding it off goes to, I'm sorry, I have to say it, but the number 100 Stanley Civic. Here's the rest of the field and how they qualified. For your GT300 category, qualifying first is the number 65 LEON Pyramid AMG. P2 is the number 2 Muta GR86 GT. And P3 is the number 61 Subaru BRZ R&D Sport. Here's the rest of your field and how they qualified in the GT300 category. Okay guys, so before we continue, I just want to let you know there's going to be a little change in the format and how I cover these. Last year I kind of had a deal. I worked out a deal with the CEO and the managing partners to be with Motorsport TV on the particular footage that I can use. I have not heard back from them because there has been some changes within the company, so I will not be able to add any footage of the actual race itself, so bear with me. The format may change based on the information or the privileges that are granted to me in the future, so just bear with me. It was a chaotic start to the first race of the 2024 Super GT season. The number 36 Au Toms Supra and the number 39 Sard Supra got off to a great start and left the number 100 Stanley Civic to contend with the others. The space would only last so long, as there was a wreck between the number 14 NO Supra and the number 12 Morelli Z. Both cars would head to the pits for repairs, but only the Morelli Z would return. There was too much damage for the NO Supra to return and make it to the first open pit window of lap 28, so the NO Supra's day was cut short. Also, during the first lap, the number 17 Estimo Civic got caught up in the mess and spinned out. There was also an incident in the GT300 field between the number 22 RQMG and I believe the number 48 Datsun GTR. So after all that, the safety car came out and stayed on the track for 8 laps. I'm sure that made everybody nervous and anxious. On the restart, race control gave the number 36 Toms Supra the power to control the restart pace. Apparently, the number 39 Sard Supra did not get the memo because they fell back close to the Stanley Civic for the restart. Once the restart commenced, the number 36 Supra disappeared and basically was never heard of again for the rest of the race. And the battle for P2, P3, and P4 started. On lap 14, the number 30 APR GR86 sustained damage. Also around lap 14, the Kino in the number 100 Stanley Supra really started showing the true pace of the car, as he really applied the pressure to number 38 Keeper Supra, who was now in P3. On lap 18, the Keeper Supra used lap traffic to its advantage and made a daring move on the number 100 Stanley Civic. After 18 laps in GT500 category, you now have 3 Supras in the front. And after 23 laps in the GT300 category, the number 65 LEON AMG has a 1.7 second lead on the number 2 Muta GR86 in P2. During the first pit stop of the race, the number 100 Stanley Civic team worked quicker than the Keeper Supra team and came out 1 second before them. On lap 34, the number 19 Wet Sport had an issue in the pits. The front passenger wheel would not come off. They sent the car back out with 3 new tires and the 1 tire still on. In the GT300 category, on lap 54, the number 2 Muta GR86 takes the lead from the LEON AMG as they displayed a bad pit strategy. In GT300 on lap 65, the number 61 Subaru drives into the rear end of the Mach 5 GR86 and causes them to spin out. The number 61 car gets a drive-through penalty at lap 71. That's not all. The number 61 Subaru sustained engine failure with 9 laps to go as well. In the end, the number 36 Au Toms Supra takes on the win in the GT500 category. Coming in P2 is the number 39 Denso Sard Supra. And to round it off in P3 is the number 100 Stanley Civic Type R GT. In the GT300 category, taking home the win is the number 2 Muta Racing GR86. In P2 is the number 65 LEON Pyramid AMG. And to round it off in P3 is the Studie BMW M4 with rookie Nicholas Cruton driving behind the wheel. Here are my closing thoughts for round 1 at Okayama of the 2024 Super GT season. I'm really impressed with the number 100 Stanley Civic duo of Yamamoto and Makino. I believe they showed the real true pace of that car. it's sad that they were the only Civic to actually show the true pace of that car. But the car looked really, really fast. The closest Civic to actually finish close to them was the number 8 Au Toms Civic in P8. P9 was the number 16 Au Toms, and P10 was the number 64 Modelo Civic, as well as the number 17 Estimo Civic having to retire. Overall, it wasn't a good showing, but it was a good showing because the data that the number 100 Stanley Civic, got during that race, they're just going to pass it on to the other team. One thing I would like to take into mind is that only one of the other Civics is running tires outside of Bridgestone. That being the number 64 Modelo Civic. They are running Dunlops. So I'm not sure if that will hinder them going forward when it comes to telemetry, times, and information to make them faster. But I think that is something to pay attention to. They are the only ones running Dunlops. Matter of fact, they're the only ones running Dunlop in the whole damn field when it comes to GT500. Everybody's running mostly Bridgestones. The only teams not running Bridgestones are the people that finish low. That would be in P12, the number 24 Kondo Racing Advan Z. They're running Yokohamas. And finishing in last, well, not last place because the number 14 and number 17, they didn't finish. But in P13, the number 19 Wet Sport, they're running Yokohamas. In regards to the Wet Sport, the number 19 Wet Sport, who is basically the team that I really love. I just hope that they can get it together. They're really the only team that just looked like they didn't have it together. They looked like they did not have their shit together, to speak frankly. All the other Civics, they looked like they had their shit together. Like I said, the number 36 Au Toms Supra, P1. P2 is the number 39 Sard Supra, who I might add was really feeling the pressure of the number 100 Stanley Civic. If it wasn't for lap traffic, I do believe that number 100 Stanley Civic would have had a P2 for their debut race. The number 4 Keeper Supra, P4. The number 7 Toms Supra in P7, which would have finished a little higher if they did not get pushed off by the number 3 Moto Z in, I believe that's like turn 6. It was like what is it, like 5 laps to go or 2 laps to go. They got pushed off, so they had the move stuck. And actually, the number 3 Moto Z was actually waiting to see if they were gonna get some type of drive-through penalty or just time deduction, but it turns out that they did not. But yeah, all the Supras looked good outside of the Wet Sport Supra. And really, if you want to throw another Supra in there, you can throw in the number 14 NEO Supra, who did not finish. They actually came out. They actually finished 39 laps because they did, they sustained very bad rear end damage on the very first lap, like I said, and they had to go into the pits. And basically, with that damage to the rear end, they didn't believe that they could make it to lap 28. That's actually when the pit window opens and you can actually make adjustments to your car. So they didn't believe that it was going to make it there. So they went ahead and they just made the repairs to the car, and they sent it back out when the repairs were done. They weren't in contention with anybody. They were just basically just getting data. So that's why it shows on the timesheet that they actually finished 39 laps. So, and based on their times, the best time that they got was a 121.8, which isn't relatively fast. If you want to be honest. When you look at the times, that's actually the slowest on the timesheets, if you want to be honest. But all in all, on the GT500 category, I was very impressed with Au Toms Supra. They are the reigning champs, and they showed that they are a force to reckon with. The Civic, I'm kind of I don't really know what to say about them, because they only had one team that really showed good pace. All the other Civics, their times weren't that great. Um, let's look at the times for reference. The number 100 Stanley Civic, their best time was a 121 flat, right? The best time for the number 8 Arta Mugen Civic was a 121.8. The number 16 Arta Mugen Civic was a 121.3. The number 64 Modelo Civic was a 121.6. And of course, the number 17 Estimo retired early, so they didn't have any time registered. So with that being said, I don't know really what to say about the Civics. All I know is that the Stanley Civic, they showed their true pace. Also, I might add, I'm really proud that Stanley Civic got with Keeper and got a better livery, because Stanley Civic has always had some trash ass liveries. I'll just put that out there. I'm sorry, Stanley and the NSX, the Honda NSXs, those were some trash ass liveries. But yeah, we'll put that out for real. In the GT300 category, it was nice. I liked it. It was some really good racing. I really thought the LEON Pyramid AMG was going to take the win. I'm not really too sure why they decided to pit so late. I had no idea. At first, I was kind of under the impression that they were just going to go through the whole race without even pitting and just run the same tires, which would have been hella crazy, because these tires were the same tires that were used in qualifying. Check out my other video where we speak on the qualifying format changes for this year. Let's pay attention to the who came in P3, the number 7 Studie BMW. They have a rookie driver, Nicholas Cruton, which actually was the best rookie driver of the weekend. There were plenty of rookie drivers throughout the GT500 as well as the GT300 field as well. But we want to send a congratulations to Nicholas Cruton, because he put that car, he did his part to put that car on the podium. So bravo to you. Let's also pay attention to the number 45 Ponos Ferrari 296, which is a newcomer to the Ponos stable. Last year, Ponos was running a GTR. Now, Ponos is now running the Ferrari 296 with 2 new drivers. We have K. He has a weird name. I like the first name. It's Kei Cozzolino. I don't know much about him. And we have the first female driver coming into the fray, Lilu Wadu. She is a very accomplished driver in the GT scene. They showed her a couple of times. They really didn't show her that much. So I really don't know what she did or what her pace was. I just know that apparently she's really fast. But she is a rookie to the Super GT series. Let's also move down to who came in P17, which was the number 50 NS Iwata Racing RCF GT3, headed by our Gran Turismo brethren Igor Fraga and Yuga Furatani. They did pretty good. I'm rooting for Fraga. Anybody that comes from GT Gran Turismo, I'm always going to root for them. So let's just wish them the best going forward. The 777 D-Station Vantage GT3 came in P19, headed by Tamanobu Fuji and Marco Sorensen. Like I said, they came in 19. It looked okay. Not really much to say about them. Let's move on to the number 61 Subaru BRZ. So going into the race, they qualified third, but at the end of the race, they finished dead last. There was a couple of reasons for that, mainly the engine failure reasons, because they really started to fall off on pace. They couldn't keep the pace. They really started to fall off. It seems like Subaru, they're following the same woes that they always have, like last season. It's like they start off good, but then they fall apart. And I really do not know what the reason is. Matter of fact, I don't even think they know what the reason is, because if they knew the reason, they wouldn't let it happen again this year. But the number 61 Subaru did not look too good going into this race or finishing this race. So, it sucks for them. Overall, the Green Brave Supra got P4. They are the reigning champs for last year, so I think they are pretty happy to finish within the top 5. Let's all take a good look at the number 96 K-Tunes RCF. Man, that livery is beautiful. That is hands down the best livery I have ever seen. All right, we're not going to say it's the GOAT, so let's take that back. But it is one of the top liveries I've seen. Many people in the chat, when I was watching it, they were calling it the zebra car. And I think you guys understand why. But I really like the look of that car. Overall, though, I do believe this was a very, very good race and a very good start to the season. We have a lot of changes to the format in regards to qualifying and the race structure. You know, the next race, I believe, is going to be 3 hours. It's going to be at Fuji. And, yeah, it's going to be 3 hours. This one was 300 kilometers, but the next one's going to be 3 hours. So, in regards to the race structure, at first I hated the qualifying structure. I felt like it just didn't make sense. But after watching a race and watching the qualifying structure feed into the race, I'm a little weary of it. I do believe it posed a lot of problems. It does make you put on your thinking caps a little bit more if you are a race boss. If you're a driver, it does make you put on your good foot. So you want to control your braking and control your acceleration so you can conserve the tires. But I mean, it's nice overall. It's just, you can saw how some teams it hurt them in regards to the number 65 LEON Pyramid AMG and GT300. Yeah, some teams it hurt them. Some teams it didn't hurt them at all. Like the Au Toms Supra, they just ran away with it. One thing I believe Jamie Klein, he talked about on the broadcast is this, for the first time, not for the first time, but this year at least, this is one of the series to where just because you get pole, that does not mean you're going to win. A lot of times when you get pole, like Formula 1, you're going to win usually. But in Super GT, if you get pole, that does not mean you're going to win. That's based off of the qualifying structure now that they're implementing this year, as well as some of the other strategies in regards to pits and pit structure and just other things like that. But yeah, I'm really excited to see the rest of the year. I'm really excited for round 2 at Fuji Speedway, which starts on May 3rd through May 4th in that regard. But I will see you then. Make sure to stay tuned to Key to Auto for all your Super GT news on this side of the globe. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.